you so much, sis. Good evening. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It is the 7th of December, 2025, and today is my son's birthday, so it's quite a busy day for me. So it's he's 23 today, believe it or not. I looked at him and I'm like, what happened? Where did the time go? So it's just been an amazing day, amazing day, amazing day, amazing day. So yes, I'm excited, delighted to be here once again tonight. My name is Jola Grace Emmanuel. I'm a certified life and trauma recovery coach. I help people to heal, to thrive, to grow, and to rediscover their purpose, especially people who have been through any kind of trauma, childhood trauma, adulthood trauma. I usually say that I do this based on three levels of competence, right? I've had quite an interesting experience, an interesting journey in my life. So yes, I am certified. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a certified neuro-linguistic programming therapist. I'm a certified emotional freedom technique and reprinting therapist. I'm also a certified cognitive behavioral therapist. Yes, I've got the certification. I've got, some professional knowledge as well. I also say to people that by the grace of God, I come with some level of spiritual expertise, right? In that I'm a person of faith, I'm a Christian, I am ordained, as a minister as well. So I bring that also on board. But most importantly for me, right, I also bring my personal experience into what I am doing, in that I have been through a journey of experiencing trauma, to the experience that I had suicide ideation, to the extent rather that I had suicide ideation, and I also actually attempted suicide because of the intensity of the trauma that I went through. I have been diagnosed with clinical depression that I went through also for a period of time where life looked bleak for me. And so, yes, I've been there. I've done that. I've gotten a t-shirt. I've understood what betrayal is. I understand what betrayal is. I understand what abuse is. I understand what living with a narcissist is. I understand that point where everything that you thought, right, that you knew was stripped away from you. I was married to a pastor, so I was a first lady. So, and just so you understand, if you've ever been, if you are a first lady, or you know anybody who is a first lady or your pastor's wife, you know how they are carried. How they have 25 protocols in front of them at their back, how everybody's carrying their bag, how they are doing mommy geo, how that what's the word I'm looking for now? Let me use the a Nigerian slang, that shirere, of that. Oh my God, So even I remember, even when you are crying, you also think of, oh, okay, I'm going to go to church and wear my heels, and they're going to carry my bag and I'm going to feel good. And so for me, it was a difficult situation in that there is this on this side, um, there is that protocol, there is that uh, ambience of the position of the people that are looking up to you, of the people who you are mentoring, right? And you're thinking, okay, not in a good state, experiencing abuse, I'm experiencing trauma. What do I do? Do I leave? Do I go? And sometimes, because we're people of faith in the church, you say, oh, keep praying, I'll keep praying, everything will change, There'll be what God cannot do does not exist. And you pray, you do everything. But then I got to a point in my life where I realized that my life was slipping away. Where I realized that if I did not make a decision, I will report to heaven and God will ask me, what are you doing here? Have you even done what I asked you to go and do? And so one of the things I say to people is, listen, the most important reason why you are here on this earth is to do an assignment. You are sent here for every other thing is just an addition. In fact, every other thing is supposed to aid you to fulfill that assignment. So if I believe a lot of us live in the UK, so I can use a lot of examples here. So if I'm working with Parcel Force or with Royal Mail and I have to deliver parcels, right? I'm not talking about letters now. I have to deliver parcels. And they say, oh, this is your appointment letter. You are going to be delivering parcels, 2 kg, 4 kg, 6 kg. If I say to them, I need a vehicle, will that be an unreasonable request? Will they be like, well, you need a vehicle, right? I don't know. Well, can't you walk? Do you what? Do you... No, 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 no. The assignment you've committed into my hands, I cannot fulfill it without you giving me a van. I need a van. You need to give me money for fuel, right? So there are lots of things that I'll probably need to fulfill my assignment, but my assignment primarily is to deliver those parcels. And so for each and every one of us, the primary reason why we are here on this earth is to deliver our God-given assignment. Jeremiah says, before we were formed in our mother's womb, God knew us. He ordained us. He gave us that assignment to go and deliver on this earth. And pardon me, let me use this Yoruba proverb, right? There's a Yoruba proverb that says, Ẹni tó rán ni níṣẹ́ là máa oh God, I hope I'm not messing it up. Ẹni tó rán ni níṣẹ́ là ń bẹ̀rù, a kì í bẹ̀rù ẹni tá máa jẹ fún. Meaning that the person that sent you on errand is the one that you reverence, is the one that you are in awe of, is the one that you respect, that you fear, not a bad fear, not the person you are going to deliver the message to. For some people, our past is making us afraid of delivering our assignment. And I was there. So everything I'm going to be sharing with you tonight is my personal journey, my personal experience, and how God has helped me to rise above my painful past. I was sharing with someone recently. I said to the person, I said, listen, what happened to us or what happened to you is not within your control. What happened to me? Somebody abused me. And when I talk about abuse, I went through every kind of abuse. From physical abuse to verbal abuse to psychological abuse to emotional abuse to financial abuse, and I dare say to sexual abuse. And I've had people say, if you're married, your spouse cannot sexually abuse you. Excuse me, what is it is not a marriage seminar, but what is sexual abuse? What is sex supposed to be between two adults who are married who consent to have it? So even if you're married and one party says no, and the other party forces themselves on that person, it is still abuse. So let me leave that alone. So you see, what happened to me? That's why you can say, oh, something happened to you is not within your control. Somebody did that to you. Something happened. However, how you respond to what happened to you is 100% within your control. There's something else I love to say. Don't allow what happened to you to keep happening to you. So it happened to you. 16 years of domestic violence and abuse. 16 years of my self-esteem being beaten out of me. 16 years of hearing constantly, you are stupid, you are foolish, nobody loves you, you are ugly. 16 years of that. It happened to me. Not my fault. Outside of my control. But how I choose to respond to my past is 100% within my control. I just say to people, look at your hands. Because listen, the future is a blank check. And I'll talk about the past in a minute. The future is a blank check. Well, it's because I went through abuse. That's how my life is like this. So it's because my parents, they didn't really take care of me. That's why, and I know if I say this, people can come at me, but it is the truth. So I've met people who say, oh, I have to sell my body to make money because I didn't have anybody to look after me. You had a choice. You have a choice. you have a choice of how you respond to the things that happened to you or that are happening to you. You have a choice. Never get to that point in your life where you think, "Oh, I don't have a choice." Nope. Mm-mm. You always have a choice. And there's one woman in the Bible that she fascinates me. And I dare you, I dare you if you're here tonight or you know anybody tonight whose life is worse than this woman, let me know. I mean, this is a past that should enter Guinness Book of Record. If you're talking about somebody, her mileage, her mileage is high. The woman we call the Samaritan woman in John chapter 4. John, I won't read the whole thing. So, John 4:4, he had to go through Samaria on the way. Eventually, he came to the Samaritan village of Sychar near the field that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there, and Jesus, tired from the long walk, sat wearily beside the well at noontime. Soon, a Samaritan woman came to draw water, and Jesus said to her, "Please give me a drink." Hmm. He was alone at that time because his disciples had gone into the village to buy some food. The woman was surprised, for Jews refused to have anything to do with the Samaritan. She said to Jesus, "You're a Jew. I'm a Samaritan woman. Why are you asking me for a drink again? Why are you asking me for a drink?" Jesus replied, "If only you knew the gift God has for you and who you are speaking to, you would ask me and I will give you the living water." If only you knew the gift God has for you. A lot of times we struggle to rise above our past because we don't know the gift God has for us. We don't know that God has made us a gift to our world. Sometimes we are and it's good to honor and celebrate, and I honor and celebrate. And I love what my spiritual mother would say. She says, Listen, I'm not your hero. I'm not your hero. You are your hero." Because sometimes we look at those people up there and we say, wow, you're such a gift to our world. We celebrate you. You are a gift, each and every one of us. We are gift to this world. If only we knew. If only we knew. Jesus says, well, if only you knew the gifts God has for you and who you are speaking to, you will ask me and I will give you the living water. But sir, you don't have a rope or a bucket. So you see, her tone began to change. Initially, she wasn't saying sir. After verse 10, she said, "Sir, sir, you don't have a rope or a bucket," she said, "and this well is very deep. Where would you get this living water? And besides, do you think you are greater than our ancestor Jacob who gave us this well?" She was still living in her past. She was living in her past. Well, I don't even know what you're talking about. Our sister Jacob gave us this well. Who are you that saying that you're going to give living water? And see, I've been there, I've done that, I've got the t-shirts. How can you offer better water than he and his sons? How can you give me anything better than the experiences I've had in my life? If only you knew. If only you knew. I was like, well, I know. I mean, I've had such a life. I've had such a man. The men don't even, they just dump me. They use me. They dump me. Or maybe, well, we don't really know her. So a lot of people have come up with a lot of narratives about this woman that, okay, she's the one that couldn't hold on to a man or the men dump her. Whatever it is, all we know is that she couldn't hold on to a relationship. Whether the fault was hers or the fault was the other from the other party. But we know that she's had a messed up life. And she was, I can hear the sarcasm in her voice, like, "Are you better than our sister Jacob who gave us this well? This well, I've been coming to drink from this well. I'm used to this kind of lifestyle. You're another man. Maybe he's trying to hit on me. I've been there. I'm not even, what new thing do you want to tell me? I did that business 3 years ago. It failed. I tried this one as well. It didn't work. I did that one. It didn't work. All the relationships I get into, something always goes wrong. Well, if only, well, I don't, let's just, I know how this thing is part of my life. There's something I say to people. I mean, I have. Zero tolerance to negativity. In so much so that sometimes I can be very rude when I hear negativity. So I was speaking to someone the other day, and the person was talking about headache. And I was like, oh, this my headache has come again. I'm like, excuse you? Wait a minute. Your headache? Where did you get the headache from? Who gave you the headache? Are you a child of God? Yes. So what did Jesus Christ say? Himself took our infirmities, nailed it to the cross of Calvary. So if he has nailed a headache is an infirmity, right? Yes. So he nailed this to the cross. So where did you get it from? Are you a thief? Did you go and steal the headache? If you are personalizing it, it's not your own. It's not your own. And sometimes you say, this my issue. That's the way it has always been in our family. Oh. No marriage succeed. Or even my sister, my brother, my cousin, all of them, that this is our issue. Is we are used to it. The past. Is this well? Is this what are you talking about? Another well? Another living water from where? Because see, your past, the past, right, can so blind you that you can't even see your way forward. And that is what leads to depression, and I've been there. I couldn't see, sometimes people say there's light at the end of a tunnel. I couldn't even see the end of the tunnel because of the light. I was in a perpetual state of darkness. And I felt this is the way my life was going to be going. In fact, I remember where I was standing on that particular day where I said, this is where I'm going to die. Didn't see any way out. This is like, well, this is the well, Jacob's well. There's no other well. There's no other water that I can drink. This is the end of everything. Says who? If only you knew. If only you knew. And these are the things that get us stuck in our past, in our head. And I would, also tell us practical ways that we can begin to rise above our past. So, verse 12. So how can you offer better water than he? Okay, so that verse 13, Jesus Christ replied, anyone who drinks this water will soon become thirsty again. But those who drink the water I give will never be thirsty again. It becomes a fresh, bubbling spring within them, giving them eternal life. Behold, I do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth fresh waters, eternal life. That's what he wants to give to you. He's saying it's new. Forget about the past. Will you not know it? If only she knew. Knowledge. What do you know? What do you know? And we are in a kairos moment in that there's about to be a death of a season, of a year, and the birth of a new year. Why do you think a lot of religious organizations do prayers, fasting, watch night prayers? It's not just, we don't just do it because we have nothing to do. It's because a season is a kairos moment, not chronos. A season is ending, another one is starting. You have to enter into it strategically. You have to understand. The Bible talks about the sons of Issachar who had understanding of the times and the seasons, and they knew what to do. And what? Their brethren were at their command. Their brethren were at, because they knew what to do. If only she knew. Behold, I do a new thing. Shall you not know it? What do you know? What do you know? I say to people, listen, your mind is your greatest asset. And excuse me, because I believe I'm talking to an African audience. We Africans don't know how to invest in knowledge, in wisdom. The Bible says that wisdom is a principal thing. In all you're getting, get wisdom, get knowledge, get understanding. That means it's the most important thing. So you say, forget about the Gucci bags, forget about the Hermes, forget about them. The principal thing is wisdom, knowledge. Go after it with everything that you have. If I take your bank account and we look at it for 2025, how much of it went into personal development? How much of your money went into food? How much of your money went into shoes and bags? How much of your money went into cinema? How much went into the kingdom? How much went into personal development? That's how you will know what is important to you. I love personal growth. I'm growing, personal development. Where your treasure is, that is where your heart is. That's where your heart is. And so I feel I'm going to be challenging and poking us tonight, and I hope that's okay. I hope that's fine. Because one of the things I say is, I've seen that place of pain. I've seen that place of hopelessness. I've been in that dark place where you feel as if you are fading. Your life is fading away from you. Every day you wake up is like it's near you're just going, you're existing. And I've seen the other side of living. The other side where every day you are excited, you wake up with excitement, yes, let's do it. This is what you're having ideas. You are just in a place of fulfillment. The difference is 7 up. And I want it's like you discover a land of gold and you go and buy a very big van and you're like, everybody get on this van, let's go, get on this bus. I've discovered somewhere, let's go. This place is, honestly, if you get there, that's the zone I'm in. I celebrated my birthday a few weeks ago, and every year I'll pray, I'll wait to God. I'm like, God, okay, so what's the next phase of my assignment? What am I focusing on? And he said to me, a lot of people are stalling on their purpose. And I want you to not kick them in the butt, but help them kickstart their purpose. They're stalling. There's different distractions. See, the past is a distraction. It's a distraction for fulfilling your purpose. When whatever it is that has happened in the past, remember the first thing I said is not your fault. It's not your fault. It happened to you. It always takes two to tango. It happened to you. And so you have to rise above. What is within your control is to rise above that painful past. One day I was, so I will be going in and out of the story. So I was in that marriage for 16 years. And of course, it got to a point where I felt physically my life was at risk. And so I had to leave, with the help of my spiritual mother, with the help of my biological parents and siblings. I had to leave. And when I left, it's a long story. I won't go too deep into it. For reasons beyond my control, I could not leave the marriage with my children. No, I left with my children, but I could not settle with them where I was going. So, because I had to leave the country that the abuse happened, so I could not take them with me. And I got to where I was going, and it was just me. And I wasn't used to that. Before then, I had never lived on my own. So throughout school, for some reason, I'm the first daughter, and I was the only one that my parents didn't allow me to go to a boarding house. So I was always at home. All my school was in the city that I was born. So I was always at home. I was always at home. And from school, as I did, those of you who schooled in Nigeria, you know what NYSC is. Finished from school, went to NYSC. In fact, that was the first time I would go out of my city. But it was still close. Lagos is about very close. And Towards the end of NYSC, started planning to get married. So got married from my parents' house to husband's house. So I've never lived on my own. Never lived on my own. I always had. So now I was on my own. And the first challenge I had to face was identity crisis. Who is this person? Nobody's calling me mommy. Nobody's calling me Pastor Jola. Nobody's calling me Mommy Gio. Nobody's saying Mama. Nobody's calling me CEO. Nobody's only me. So what's going on? Who am I? I was running MAD. I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. I was hearing voices out. It was horrible. And I realized that I was sinking. So I don't know if you've ever walked in a muddy field where you are not sure how deep each path is. I was sinking. I realized that every day I was sinking. I was sinking. I was sinking. And the truth is, I was saying to someone, I said, listen, if today, by the grace of God, I'm not, but if right now I'm maybe jumping from one man to another, selling my body, and I can justify it. Do you know I can justify it? I can say, well, that man took everything from me. He abused me. He did this to me. He didn't allow me to work. I don't have any money, and he messed me up. I need to survive. Let me just jump from one man to another. I can justify it. And I'll just be well. If you know what happened, if you know my story, you won't be miss that. You won't be don't you know what they say? Don't judge me, or Abi. If you don't know there's a saying, don't judge me if you don't know my story, something funny like that. But I had choices. I had options. So I had to sit down and ask myself, hmm, where do we go from here? Who is this? What's up with this? Why did what happened? Because I knew I had to rise above that past. It was a strong. So you see, when the Bible says that we should casting down negative imaginations and every stronghold that negates the knowledge of God in our lives. It's not talking about a demon with two horns. It's talking about your mind. Jeremiah wrote a book that I'm sure a lot of us probably have heard. It's the battlefield of the mind. The mind. Which is why I said, listen, your mind is your greatest asset. The quality of your life is directly proportionate to the quality of your mind. What is the state of your mind? Is it filled with pain? Is it filled with hurt? Is it filled with bitterness? Is it filled with anger? And those things are justified. Listen, your emotions are justifiable. Your emotions are valid. Your feelings are valid. Because it happened to you. What happened to you for real. Now, let's go back to that, to John 4. Let's go back to John 4. So it says, anyone who drinks this water, verse 13, will soon become thirsty again. But those who drink of the water I give will never be thirsty again. Eternal life. Verse 15, please, sir. The woman said, give me this water. And I'm sure you are here tonight because you're like, I want to rise above my past. I want something new. I'm tired of the old. I've been going round and around these circles. I want something new. If you are, that is your heart desire tonight, I want you to tell me in the comment section, I'm ready for the new. 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 Are you ready for the new? Type in the comment section if you're ready. I am ready for the new. I'm ready for the new. I'm ready for the new. If you are ready, if you're ready for that new, for that fresh water, for that living water, type in the comment section, I am ready for the new. 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 Awesome, awesome, awesome. I am ready for the new. I am ready for the new. Because you have to be ready. You have to be willing. You have to be ready. You have to be willing for the new. Let's continue. Says, please, sir, I don't want to thirst again. No. I don't want trauma to hold me back. I don't want to be stuck again in life. I don't want to continue living with this pain, with this illness. I don't want to continue to be in a state of lack. I don't want to keep going round and around when it comes to relationship, meeting the same, attracting the same kind of men. I'm ready for the new. I don't want to thirst again. What are you thirsting for? What have you been thirsting for? For some people, they've been thirsting for affirmation. They're thirsty for affirmation. They're thirsty for affection. And because of that thirst, they keep trying to fill that thirst in all the wrong places. Because listen, every other thing you do will only pacify you. It will not satisfy you. True satisfaction is in Jesus Christ. In Jesus Christ. Every other thing. Oh, let me, and some people do emotional eating. Oh, I remember I did a lot of that. I did a lot of that. Because there's something about sugar. It releases happy, feel-good hormones. That's why people can be addicted to sugary foods. And I'm not talking about liking, I'm talking about addiction. I don't have to go to describe, go into addiction and describe what addiction is. Very possible, right? So I don't want to be thirsty again. I don't want to have to yearn. For some people, they're thirsty for companionship. You just you start to freak out if you have to be on your own. That's why you move from one relationship to another, to another, to another. As one is dropping, you are fine getting into somebody else because you're just thirsty for companionship. I had to learn to know me. I had to learn to be my friend. I had to learn to enjoy my company. And for me, what I remember, what I can compare it to, the Bible talked about Jacob was left alone. He wasn't alone. He was left alone because he needed to have an encounter with God. And that was my life story. I lived on my own for 5 good years. I didn't know that I was going to survive. I didn't know that I was going to be alive. I thought, I'm that kind of woman who, that will write, oh, my children, my world. I knew a long time ago that the marriage was toxic. I knew. If I was telling someone that the first week I got married, I saw like my eyes open. You know what they say? If marriage will open your eyes, it's an eye opener. I knew immediately. I was like, you don't enter one chance. But then you say, okay, well, let's pray. Maybe we change. Let's this, let's that. And then, those religious things. And so for me, my affection and my love, I poured it on my children. So I was like, this is my children, my children, my children. I was the kind of woman that carried my children on my head. Hey, my children, my children, my life. Post picture of children, I say my life, my world, my all. I don't know if somebody's thinking, yes, now. No, my sister. Mm, your children are not your world. Your children are not your life. Yes, they are your children, but they are not your world. They are not your life. I faced that bitter truth that, okay, so now that these children are here, does that mean that my life is over? Or my world has crashed? And God said, no, I am your world. I am your life. It's me. It's me. And so during that period, I had to learn to know me, have a relationship with me, and encounter with God. An encounter with God that nothing can take away from me by the grace of God. An encounter with God. So he said, please, forgive me. I don't want to come back here again. Verse 16. Jesus Christ said something really profound. Go and get your husband. Now he's saying, really, Jesus, are we going there? Jesus said, yes, we are going there. Let's go there. Let's go there. You see, sometimes I do one-on-one coaching, and sometimes clients come and they talk and they talk and they talk, and I'm like, tell me about your childhood. I'm like, tell me about your childhood. We have to go there. Jesus Christ said, go and call your husband. And she was like, well, I don't know. I don't have a husband. I don't have a husband. I don't know what you're on about. What are you on about? I don't have a husband. And Jesus Christ smiled and said, well, yeah, mm, you're correct. You're right. You don't have a husband. For you have had five husbands, and you aren't even married to the man you are living with now. So what do they call it? Cohabiting, Abby. Cohabiting, it did not just start now. Oh. So say, you're living. It didn't just start. Even back then in the Bible, they lived with they just boyfriend and girlfriend, they just believe with each other. He says, the man you are living with now, you are not married to him. Yeah, yes, you have said the truth. Sir, the woman said, you must be a prophet. Tell me, why is it that okay? Then they went on and on and on and on and on. And then um let's jump because of time. And then Jesus Christ, okay, verse 21, Jesus Christ said, believe me, dear woman, the time is coming when it will no longer matter whether you worship the Father on this mountain or in Jerusalem. Okay. And then, okay, verse 25, the woman said, I know the Messiah is coming, the one who is called Christ, but when he comes, so look at again, knowledge. When he comes, he will explain everything to us. And Jesus Christ says, I am the Messiah. If only she knew. Behold, I do a new thing. Shall you not know it? Knowledge. Let's quickly go to Matthew. Matthew 9:17. Jesus Christ had to go to our past. And if you want to rise above that past, you have to deal with the past. You cannot pretend your past does not exist. Mm-mm, you can't. Jesus Christ said, okay, let's go from verse 16. Matthew 9:16. Besides, who would patch an old clothing with new cloth? For the new patch will shrink and rip away from the old cloth, leaving an even bigger tear than before. Verse 17, and no one puts new wine into old wine skins, for the old skins would burst from the pressure, spilling the wine and ruining the skins. New wine is stored in new wine skins, so that both are preserved. Behold, I do a new thing. Shall you not know it? Before you move into that newness, you need to rise above your past so that you can prepare yourself for the new thing. Because listen, the you that dealt with that trauma cannot manage the newness that God is about to do in your life. The broken you, the angry you, the bitter you, the low self-esteemed you can't handle the newness. And a lot of people are stuck in their life because they have not healed from the past. So you see, quickly, trauma Negative past, right, distorts, number one, your perception of yourself. You think, I'm not good enough. I'm not beautiful. I'm not this. I'm not, if I was good, why would this happen to me? If I was brilliant, why would I fail my exam 6 times? If I was intelligent, why would this happen to me? Why would they not have promoted me at work? Why would they sack me? So that traumatic experience distorts your perception of yourself. Begin to see yourself lower than you are. You push yourself down. You're hard on yourself. You speak cruelly to yourself. Number two, trauma distorts our perception of other people around us. You begin to look at people and like, you can't trust anybody. Oh. That my friend. Remember that my friend I told you about? Hmm. I told her about my life and then she wants to tell everybody. That's good. So because one, and I already say to people that okay, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 10 men hurt you. Like this woman has seven, I be six. And then imagine her going and say, men, men has come, men are, they don't worry about the men. If you see, you know what they say, if you see a snake and you see a man, you see the other way around, run, run towards the snake. It is the trauma. And it can be on the flip side because women also can be abusers. Women can hurt other people. It's the trauma. A lot of times, your perception is because of your negative experience, and your perception is not always correct. Now, imagine me going about and saying, oh, pastors are, they are not real. Oh. I was married to one. Oh. Hmm. And I actually was at a point in the early stages where I didn't want to be a Christian again. I said, God, how can I be married to somebody that called himself a pastor and the person treated me like this? No, God, please. I'm not doing it. Maybe at least the traditional worshippers, you can see the things that they are doing, Abby. I didn't want to have anything to do with it again. I said, God, except you can explain it to me because I don't get it, which he did in his infinite mercies. Matthew 7 was the answer that he gave me. You can go and read it when you get to talking about on the last day, many will come to me, they will say, Lord, Lord, we do so many miracles in your name. He says, I will say to them, depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. So it's not by what they say, it's by what they do, right? By their fruits, they shall be known. What are the fruits? The fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. So if I don't see a fruit in your life, forget about what you're saying. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. So God is in his infinite mercy answered me. I'm like, no. They might be doing mighty miracles, but if their works, if the fruit of the Spirit is not evident in their life, I don't know them. And I was like, wow, wow, that's knowledge. I gained another knowledge. Now, because the latest book I'm writing is Dear Empath. And I can speak to people who have similar temperament to me, who are very believing. They just believe everybody is good. They believe everybody is kind. They believe no. In fact, one of my books, Street Sense for Good Girls, talked about blending the white serpent with the innocent dove. You can't just be trusting everybody like that. You have to apply wisdom. You have to check. You have to do your due diligence. And that takes me to the first practical step in rising above our past. So I'm going to use RISE as an acronym to help us remember. So the R there is reconcile with your past. You have to reconcile with that past. You have to accept that it happened. Accept that you made a mistake. Because if you don't accept that you made a mistake, it will be difficult for you to rise above. So imagine that woman now saying, well, Jesus, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. I'm not the one that left them. They left me. Jimmy is a lazy man. Tony, that one, he can womanize. And she just won't be able to help her. She hands up that, okay, yes, master. Yeah, yes, yes. Because there's one thing I say to people, right? In the kind of trauma I experienced, because some people experience childhood trauma who they totally had no, absolutely zero control over what happened to them. Hmm? Now, the kind of trauma that I experienced, and as an adult, I don't want to go ahead of myself. So I'll leave that for the next phase. Okay? So reconcile with your past. It happened to me. It happened. And sometimes it can be difficult to accept. If I didn't come to a place to accept that, girl, you are being abused, I would have died in that marriage. Because I was thinking, no, now we are in church, we are doing church. I'm first lady, everything is fine, everything's cool, everything is zen. I had to reconcile that this is what is happening is bad. And if you don't leave, that might be the end of you. So you have to reconcile with that past, accept. And for me, accepting my mistake in that, yes, maybe I didn't check. Maybe I was in a hurry. What did I do? What could I have done differently? Okay, and that's my next point because I don't want to, like I said, go ahead of myself. See, rising above your past, right, means that you are not living in the past again. Because some of us don't realize that the past is in the past. It sounds like a tautology, but the past is in the past, meaning that you cannot do anything about it. Today is 7th of December 2025. 9 a.m. on the 7th of December 2025 is the past. If you wanted to wear a blue dress to church this morning and you then said, okay, let me just wear a red dress. And then you go to church and then you realize that everybody was wearing blue. You're like, oh, and I wanted to wear my red. Oh, why did I wear this? Oh, there's nothing you can do about it. So just stand up from it and go and do something else. Because you cannot go back to this money. It's gone, it's in the past. And the present is a present, is a gift. And a lot of us are not unraveling the gift of the present. Every morning when I wake up, I say, God, I thank you because you are the God that daily loads us with benefits. Lord, I receive the benefits of today. Because each day is a gift. You have to unwrap it. I said, Lord, today I will enjoy the benefit. My benefit of today, I will enjoy it. Give us this day our daily bread. That's your present. It's a gift. And like I said earlier on, the future is a blank check. It's a blank check. What are you going to do about it? Reconcile with your past. The past is in the past. You cannot go back into the past to change anything. How I wish. If only I had not gone to that school. If only I had done this one. If only I had made that application. And I wanted to apply for that job. Oh, but you did not apply and it's gone. What can you do now? What's the next thing you can do? Reconcile with your past. It happened to me. Yes, I did this one. Yes, I made that mistake. It happened. Okay. Now listen to this, right? Mistakes makes us human. Never take your identity from your mistake. You are not your mistake. I made an error of judgment. I trusted somebody too quickly. Or maybe I wrote an exam, I didn't pass the exam. Or I failed my PIP at work. That's not me. can't take my identity from my mistake or from my past. Mm-mm. It's in the past. That's not me. And refuse to allow people to nomenclate you based on your experience. Ah, that's a woman that went through abuse. What's her name? Her name is Jola Grace Emmanuel. No, sorry, I don't know who you're talking about. In fact, I tell people, don't call me a divorcee. I'm not a divorcee because that is an identity. It's an identity. I'm a child of God. I'm blessed. I'm value. I carry value. I'm a healer. I help people to heal. You have to separate your past from your identity. So let me rush because of time. So, number two. So, number one, reconcile with your past. It happened to you. It's not you. You should not stop your future, right? Number two, investigate the past. That's the I there in rise. Investigate it. Why did it happen? Everything we do has a why. You must understand why it happened. Because if we are oblivious to the facts that made that situation happen, we can find ourselves going round and round in a circle. Going round and round in a circle. There's a story which probably some of you know of someone going on all over social media who seems to be attracted to toxic relationships, toxic women, right? And somebody says, oh, he actually needs to go and see a therapist because he keeps getting attracted to toxic relationship. They say, why? Why? You have to sit down and ask yourself, why? Is it me? Is that something I'm lacking? Was there a neglect in my childhood? Was there attention deficits in my childhood? Why am I attracted to toxic relationship? Or is toxicity my normal? Because listen, your normal can be very abnormal. Oh. Your normal, so maybe your own normal in your house, they're always shouting, yeah, slapping each other, and you might even hate it when it's happening. But subconsciously in your mind, that is normal to you. And so when you find yourself in that kind of environment, you tolerate it. Or maybe just lack is normal, average. We shall come back. Let's try and join everything together. When God's will for you is abundance, investigate your past. Why did it happen? In my own case, and I sat down and investigated my past, why did it happen? I realized that I made an error of judgment. I didn't know who this person was. I only know what this person was. I only know the words of the person. And so I usually, when I'm talking about relational intelligence, I talk about your what and your who. Your what, you are a medical doctor. The sole doctor. I'm a certified life and trauma recovery coach. You are the CEO of that organization. You are the prime minister. That is your what. You are the pastor. That's your what. But that's not your who. Who is your character? Who is your personality? And most of the time, who doesn't really change? Who doesn't change? So I'll be deceiving myself when I was investigating to say, this person has changed. No, the person did not change. I did not know who the person was. I only know what the person was. So he was a pastor. And that's all I knew. And that's what I got married to. But that is the greatest deception to say you want to marry somebody's what? Because that is not who they are. It is the who that you are going to be living with. So investigating my past, I realized that. Right? Number three. Now I'm rushing. I've actually written a book about this. It's on Amazon. Arise Above Your Past. You can, read more of the things I'm talking about there. So yes, investigate it and overcome all of the guilt. One of the things that happens when you begin to investigate your past is guilt. I can't believe I did this. And shame. No, no, no. Let it go. Brush it off your shoulder. That's in my past. When I was a child, I reasoned like a child. Now I'm an adult. I've grown up. And I leave all those childish things. Imagine somebody who is an adult, right, in their 20s, And maybe their mom was telling them that, you, when you are 6 months old, you used to put in your nappy, and the child is going about crying. So why are you crying? When I was 6 months old, I used to put in my party, in my nappy when I was 3 months. Won't you be looking at the child from the, but you're a baby, that's normal now. Babies are supposed to put in their nappy. So that's what you need to overcome that guilt, because then you didn't know. Now you know better. Now you know better, right? You need to know who you are. Psalm 139, verse 13 rather says, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful." I know that fully well. That is who I am. And I must know that regardless of my mistake, God created me for a purpose. I will discover that purpose and fulfill your purpose. I must fulfill that purpose. Right? So after reconciling with with the past rather, and investigating your past, why did it happen? Right? The next thing you need to do is to begin to strengthen your present. Remember, I said the present is a present. The present is a gift. Right? So I have lost a lot of things, but I have not lost everything. That was one of the things I sat down in that state of aloneness. It wasn't loneliness, it was aloneness. I started to ask myself, okay, no more pastors, mommy Gio, no more this one, no more that one, no more this one, no job, no money, nothing. But is there anything I have left? Is there anything? So what is working for me? And I began to list it. I have my health. I have my mind. I have my mind. Because I know of people who have not been through half of what I've been through, and they've lost their sanity. To the glory of God. I have my mind, like, God, I thank you, I have my mind. What do you have left? No matter what happens or how bad life seems today, life goes on. There will be a better tomorrow. The past happened, though. I'm not saying it didn't happen. And it was painful. It hurt you. Your feelings about it are valid. But you need to strengthen the present. Because what you focus on expands. What you focus on, you give strength to. How do I strengthen my present? Is to begin to say to myself, I'm going to heal from what happened to me in the past. I will refuse to allow my past to be stronger than my present. So you see, you can be carrying the burden of the past, but you can say, no, 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 I'm going to drop this burden and I'm going to focus on the present. Go on a journey of healing. I had to go on a journey of healing. I had to go on a journey, and I said journey because it didn't happen just like that overnight. It took time. To say, no, I know I'm seriously wounded. I need to heal because I want to strengthen my present. I don't want my past to be stronger than my present. I don't. And that's what Jesus Christ has to tell that woman, let's go to your past. Let's make sure we take the strength away from that past. Because you need to strengthen your present. I am here now. I want to give you the living water that you will drink and you will never have to thirst again. So I know that this year might have been challenging for you. You might have lost somebody. You might have had failed contracts. Some people disappointed you. They promised you things. It didn't happen. You had goals that you set. Those goals did not come to pass. Maybe you lost a business opportunity or you lost an investment. Or you are still, in that trapped in the childhood trauma. But what do you have left? On this day, on the 7th day of December 2025, 7:24 p.m., what is working for you? Can I challenge you to write to not right now after this session to write down at least 10 things that you are grateful for this year. At the beginning of that paper, write regardless. I am grateful for. So regardless means that I acknowledge that some things didn't work out. And have you ever thought about the things that you did not put in your goal but happened for you? Sometimes we don't look at that. We say, "Ah, this one happened." What about the ones that you did not think of? You did not put inside your goal list, but it happened for you. I challenge you. That's how to strengthen the present. You still have your mind. You still have your health. For those of us who are people of faith, you still have your faith. You have your hope in God. You have a relationship with God. Strengthen the present. Strengthen the present. And then number four. Number four. Before I go to number four, let me quickly read. Okay, I'll Philippians 3:13. Apostle Paul said, I focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. Let me also say this. We're talking about strengthening the present. It's not every time that the past is negative. Mm. Sometimes the past is woo, wonderful. Sometimes, right, your past was actually an achievement. And I know people who are stuck in their achievements for years, and because of that, they could not move on to do something else. So you did that contract. So you eventually got married. God answered your prayer, and then you're not moving again in life. You are stuck. You're not fulfilling your purpose. Apostle Paul said, but this one thing I do, I focus on what lies ahead. How did he write more than half of the scripture of the New Testament? How? It wasn't part of the disciples that physically was with Jesus. He gave us one secret. I'm quick to move on. I'm not sitting down and saying, now, by the grace of God, this is the book that I was talking about. When I wrote this book 2023. Yeah, 2023. And it was such a big deal. I was like, wow, this is the person they said is foolish, he's stupid, he does not have brain. She wrote a book. So for me, it wasn't just that. It wasn't the book. It was the fact that I proved something to myself. You're not stupid, though. You're not as foolish as they said you are. You wrote a book. I know that is success. I could have sat on there and said, I wrote a book. Oh, I wrote a book. Oh. But it's in the past, 2023. And by the grace of God, 4 more after that, I have the sixth one in progress. By the grace of God, God has helped me to launch an academy. We've launched our first course. We're going to be helping people become certified emotional health practitioner. Because, like I said, one of the next assignments in my life is to push people to fulfill their purpose. You see, people are stalling on their purpose. And sometimes you're saying, oh, I need my life to be perfect before I start working in purpose. No. Mm-mm. So you see, I make this analogy when if someone breaks their leg, gets involved in an accident, trauma, and they break their leg. Yes, first stage, probably go to the hospital, surgery, stitch it, and then they put POP and everything. And they're that's and sleep, don't get up, they are fending for you. But after a while, when they remove the POP, and they send the person home. You can't still walk, but they send you home, maybe with your crutches and walking aid. You know what they now do? They send physiotherapists to you every day. What do they do? Now you have to learn to walk again because of that accident. But how do you learn to walk again? By walking. So they will say, good morning, Mr. John. Today we're going to take 5 steps. Are you ready? Oh, my leg is paining me, it's hurting me. It's okay, Mr. John. I will help you. Then they help you. Okay, gently step in front, forward. Okay, the left one. Oh, you're doing so well, Mr. John. The next one. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, the next one. So you see, well done, Mr. John. 5 steps. Tomorrow we will try 7 steps. Mr. John is still in pain, but he has to walk to learn how to walk again. And so you will know inside your heart that it's time for me to start walking in purpose. The man not 100% healed. He's not all over. He's not. But I have to start because that is how to learn to walk again. There comes a time in your life where you realize that purpose is knocking on the door. I don't know how many of you are in the house today that purpose has been calling your phone. There's so many missed calls. You look at your phone, purpose is calling again. I've not picked. And purpose is not going to stop calling now. It will keep calling you until you pick. Until you pick. And for me, you see, there's always a place you can start from. So, Mr. John, it might be 5 steps today. It's okay. You don't have to run. Tomorrow we can try 10. Maybe next week, 20 steps. It's fine. As long as you're not lying down on the bed and saying, I can't move. I can't use my legs. There's a place, and part of this I'm also doing next year by the grace of God is I'm creating mentorship platform for people who actually want to step into their purpose and fulfill their purpose. That is the primary reason why you are here on this earth. And you have to keep living the past. It's like you use a glove. You use those disposable gloves. You wear it, you use it. If you imagine somebody in the hospital, they refuse to remove the gloves they used to treat somebody else, and they're coming to you. Will you allow them to touch you? You're like, excuse me, do you want to change your gloves? You have to keep removing it. You finished one assignment, remove it. Get another one. Remove it. Get another one. Because he that calleth us is also able to equip. Forgetting the past. And see, forgetting is actually a continuous present. That means that every day, the past will also call you. The way purpose is calling, the past too will call you. Hello? You know, you are abused though. You know, as a child, your father and mother were not there for you. I don't think you can go for that contract too. You know, your husband does not even really care about you. You know, you don't have any money. You don't have any quality. You know, your past will tell you what happened to you, be telling you, calling. So when Apostle Paul says forgetting the past, means that every time my phone rings and I look at it, who is calling me the past? What do? I cut it. Girl, call us the past. I cut it. I'm picking your call past. Hmm? Keep ringing me. Jola Oluwa, I will not pick your call. Because purpose is also calling me. I would rather pick purpose's call. It's a decision you have to make. So it says, forgetting the past and looking ahead, looking forward to what lies ahead. What you focus on multiplies, and what you focus on increases. What you focus on expands. You need to focus on the positivity around you. Wake up every day, look around for positivity, look around for positivity, look around for the things that are working. Some of us, what is making us pick the past call is the people. See, your eyes and your ears are the gateway to your soul. Who are the people on your timeline? And say, I'm just watching this over. There are some, I can't even count the number of groups and things that I'm on, but there are some groups that I've muted because the information there is always taking me back to my purpose. I mean, to my past rather. If you just want to be telling me about, men are this one, oh, women are this one, oh, everything, you will be stuck in the past. You cannot keep staying around people that tie you to your past. And that is the fourth point. So let me just go into it right now. So number one, rise, reconcile with your past. Number two, investigate the past. Why did it happen? Number three, strengthen the present. And then number four, evaluate your relationships. You are a product of your environment, your physical environment, your mental environment, your spiritual environment. They will inevitably shape your life. Evaluate your relationships. For you to rise above your past, you have to evaluate your relationships because relationships are vehicles that take us to our destination. Where's your destination? Where do you want to get to? One of the things we're going to be doing at the Mentor Me platform is to set goals. Where do you want to get to? Where do you want to go to in 2026? Where do you want to go to in 2028? Where do you want to go to in 2029? And listen, if you want to get to the destination of purpose fulfillment, of emotional health, it's so critical that you begin to ask yourself, oh, the relationships in my life, are they pushing me towards my purpose or are they taking me away from my purpose? Are they tying me to my past or they are releasing me towards my future? And the truth is, relationships in our life, some of them are seasonal, you've heard that before. Some are, for a reason, specific reason, and some are for life. You need to be able to evaluate and differentiate the relationships in my life. Every relationship in your life needs to be identified and labeled. And labeled. I learned something really profound. My mom can label everything and anything. She was a retired nurse. My mom can even label water. We know that it's water, or she will put sticker water. She can label. You have to label every relationship. I don't have time to talk about relational intelligence, right? But there are casual relationships, acquaintanceships, and then there are friendships. I say that usually one of the major cause of issues that people have in their life is they mix acquaintanceship with friendship. We're quick to call. There are 7 major elements to check before you can call somebody a friend. An acquaintance actually might not have it. And it's okay for people to be your acquaintance. You don't have to have friends. It's not by force. If it's 1 or 2 you have, but you know that you have taken them through that test. Relationships are powerful. You rise and fall on the power of relationships. Some people are stuck in their past because they have expired relationships in their past. And I knew it in my life. See, when I came out of that toxic environment, in fact, for me, I streamlined the relationships in my life because I knew that I had to move on. I knew there were some people I could not relate to again because now I have moved away from that toxic relationship. And people can say, this is what they say, this is what they say is happening. He posted this one. In fact, there was one day I told someone, I said, I know you love me and I love you too, but please, please, I don't want to know what this person is doing, what they are posting, what they are saying. I shield myself from this. Not interested. I had people who were telling me that, he can still work, he can still pray. I remember there was someone, a big man of God, called me and said, I believe this relationship can still work. I believe Kiniko. So I said, sir, please, I have a question, sir. Sorry about that. I have a question. And because this person knows everything that happened in the marriage, I said, sir, please, if I am your daughter, I called the daughter of the man, please, what advice will you give me since you know everything that happened in this relationship? And the person said to me, oh, let's leave my daughter out of this. Oh, ooh, I was like, wow, that's nice. That's a good one. I said, okay, sir, thank you very much. Do you know what after the call? Do you know what I did after the call? I BLOCKED the person. There are some functionalities I love. Block, archive, mute. Whoever did those things. For your peace of mind, you need to use those functionalities. Oh. I did. I blocked the person with joy in my heart and gladness. I'm like, really? I'm not somebody's daughter. I just dropped from the sky. Wow. So you see, you have to ask yourself, right? The relationships in my life, what are they doing to me? Some relationships subconsciously will make you feel less than yourself. And sometimes it's okay. So you see, so I'm going to another dimension now. Intentional relationships. Some are subconscious, but you know they're affecting you because of where you are at that point in time in your life. That every time you relate with these people, you come back feeling you are not good enough. You come back feeling small. You come back feeling your life is nothing, is a joke. Create a boundary until you grow above that phase that you are in. Create a boundary. For some of them is the scrolling. He has bought a new car. He has bought a new shoe. And then by the time you finish looking at everything, you go into depression. You're like, this one like God. Why is my own like this? Why is it? Relationships should excite you and make you want to fulfill your purpose. They should encourage and inspire you, not make you feel less than. Evaluate your relationships. Every human being was created to be in a relationship. We need, we need, we need each other. Bible says two are better than one. However, you must be connected to the right one for your life to be better. You must ask yourself, do this person in my life, do we share the same value? Are they supposed to be with me in this season of my life? Do I even recognize the season that I'm in my life? And for some people, for you to rise above your past, you have to set some boundaries. See, when I said to that person, and I said it from a loving heart, but I knew what it was doing to me mentally. They would take a screenshot, they would send it to me. Me that I blocked this person, do I know what I was doing? I said, please, I love you, but don't send me these things again. And boundaries are okay. Some of us don't have any boundaries in our life. That's why we are stuck in our past. Because those people keep reminding us of where we are coming from. Anytime you want to do anything new, they will say, what are you doing? Don't we know you? Hey, that's my she program. Excuse my vernacular. You still want to do business? You that you failed in school. You don't need to be around those kind of people. It doesn't matter who they are. You don't need to be around them. Evaluate your relationships. Rise above your past. Why? Because there is so much more ahead of you. God is about to do something new. You need to prepare yourself to step into what God wants to do in your life. And I want us to begin to pray now. I want us to begin to pray. I want us to begin to pray. Because the new is about to come. The old is gone. Is a kairos season. The end, the death of an old year and the beginning of a new one. Behold, I do something new. Begin to open up yourself to God tonight. For some of us in this house this evening, you've been carrying burdens. Burdens of the past. Burdens of wounded hearts. Burdens of unfulfilled promises. Of hope that have not been achieved. Things you've been trusting God for years and it has not happened. You've been carrying those burdens and you are stuck with those burdens. Jesus Christ is saying, lay them at my feet tonight. Come to me, all you who are weary and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Lay it at his feet tonight. Consciously say, Lord, I'm tired of carrying this burden. I see a picture of a woman carrying a load on her head. and your neck is going down because the load is so heavy. And I see Jesus Christ saying, let me take that load off you. He's taking the load off you so you can walk straight again. So you can walk straight again. So you can fulfill purpose. So you can fulfill destiny. Drop the load. He's taking it off you. Allow him. Don't struggle. Allow him to take the load. Don't struggle. Allow him to take the load off you. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. You are not created to carry load and burden. That's not his intention. That's not why he created you. And you need to let go of the past. You need to let go of all that has happened in the past. Yes, it happened, but it does not define who you are. Let him take it from you. Don't struggle. Just release it to him tonight. Say, Lord, I release the burdens. I release the yoke to you. I release it to you. I release it to you. I release it to you. I want us to begin to pray now. Lord, show me who you created me to be. He says, Jesus Christ said to the woman, if only you knew. If only you knew who is talking to you will ask him and he will give you living water, water that you will drink and you will not have to thirst again. If only you knew. Say, Lord, show me who you created me to be. Show me who I am in you. Show me who I am in you. I don't want to see the picture of my past again because that is a wrong image. Help me to see me the way you see me, oh God. Lord, show us, oh God, open the eyes of my sisters to see you the way you see them. In the name of Jesus Christ. To see you the way you see them, to see you the way you see them, in the name of Jesus Christ.